Welcome to the Burn Bright Today podcast with Jennifer Marcinelli, bringing you a holistic healing revolution. Healing is about self-care and seeking help when you need it. Stay tuned as Jennifer shares tools such as diamond and gemstone therapy, mindset, and practical steps to work through your journey. Healing takes patience and actionable steps. Jennifer knows. She's lived it, and so have her clients. You can go from stress, burnout, chronic pain, and illness to burning bright and living a life you dream.
Hey, Burn Brighters. And thank you, Benny, for bringing us on the show today with a weather update. And I'm really just kind of tickled because everyone, I missed you all last week with the winter event here in Texas that you all know about. So 3 days without power, 4 days without water, room temps in the 40s. So let's just say me, the puppy, and the kitties were bundled up, and we're really glad to be back. So the fur babies are very excited, and I'm expecting a cameo appearance from one or more of them on the show today. So I tell you what, why don't we have a little bit of fun? And if one of the fur babies does make a cameo appearance, let's see who can say their name. If you know the name of the fur baby, what their name is, type it in your chat, type it in on social media, or give us a call. We'll just have some fun with this. So, hey, we've got a big topic. We've got 4 segments today. Here's what we're talking about. So 2021, 5 universal year, the truth shall set you free, the number 21 and the ancient Chaldeans, okay? The truth shall set you free. So what in the world happens when you discover that your life is a lie, or that something significant, a big portion of your life, something is not true? You've discovered, perhaps you're out there just as I was, about 2 years ago, when I discovered a very unhappy truth about my life, that a relationship that I believed in was not what I thought it was. And ended up with a very, very unexpected divorce. And as you can already tell, I'm in a higher and better place. And believe it or not, the universe works, and I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. We're all exactly where we're supposed to be. So let's talk a little bit about this. Before we jump into it, let me just talk a little bit about what we're going to cover today, if time allows. We're going to talk about the truth shall set you free, what to do when you discover something in your life is a lie, and how in the world we are right now have this incredible gift to redefine our reality. Welcome to the Aquarian Age, folks. And in the next segment, we're going to then talk to 3 things to watch out for as we start peeking behind the curtain. And in segment 3, we're going to be talking about, I'm going to share with you 6 signs of a spiritual predator. This is really up in the ethers right now, and I think it's really important that we cover this. And we're going to talk about some warning signs, what you can do about it, and how to guide yourself through this illuminating time coming to set ourselves free. And then in the last segment, time providing, we're going to get into the spiritual, energetic anatomy of our spirituality. So we're going to talk about what part of our spiritual anatomy really needs a lot of care right now to make sure that we are connecting with our own spirituality and our own truth, our own inner knowing. So big show, packed up. So let's just pop right into it. So first of all, let's talk a little bit about what's going on, what took place Saturday, March 13th, when we entered this new moon in Pisces. And I don't know about you, but let me just ask, have you ever had entered into a period in your life or received some information or had a truth illuminated that might have created a crisis of your faith, a crisis of confidence, if you will, where you started doubting the loving nature of the universe or the loving nature of spirituality? I don't know about you, but I have more than one. And with this new moon in Pisces, this can be a time starting a few days ago up through the next 2 weeks until we have our new moon coming in, our full moon coming in. So what takes place, what happens during Pisces? Pisces is very watery, and we start getting a lot of truth and compassion. And this particular new moon, what's taking place is it's like the veil of illusion that kind of holds between, it's like a barrier between our spirituality and the universe and our spiritual truths is temporarily being lifted. And this is a tremendous gift, because what that actually does is it's an incredible opportunity from, God and the universe for us to get a glimpse of the bigger picture of what's really going on in our individual lives and get a glimpse of what is actually true. So this is a time, these next 2 weeks, where we really have the golden opportunity to spend some time looking at our lives and see things as they really are, not as we wish they were, and really determine what is fact and what is fiction in our life. Then from there, we can determine what to do about it. So if this resonates with you right now, if you've recently just discovered an uncomfortable truth, it's okay. It's okay, folks. It is all a part of the spiritual awakening. This is all a very important part of the divine plan. I've experienced it, continue to experience it. My clients are experiencing it. Every human on the planet is probably experiencing it now that all of this light and sound is coming into the planet. And what does the light and sound do? It illuminates what was in the darkness. So we're going to start seeing things that it's time for us to see, because we're strong enough now to see these truths and to be able to use our discernment of what to do and how to handle it. So let's talk a little bit about that. And I'm going to watch the chat box here. We got a few minutes before we go on to break. But let's talk about how this might manifest itself, okay? So first of all, as the planet is being flooded with light and sound, and and God and the universe is illuminating what was once in the darkness, it was always there, folks. We're just now able to see it, which is the gift. So this may manifest itself as a relationship, maybe a romantic partner, a family member, a business partner, or something in the workplace, or some type of a relationship that may not be as have your best interest at heart as you once thought or hoped it did. So keep an eye out for that. Also check the truths of your spiritual beliefs and religious beliefs. That's another area that I'm seeing across the board in my practice with my clients right now. They're starting to come to some really helpful truths that's like, I always knew something wasn't right, and now I get it, and now I can be empowered to make the changes that I need to make. And the other thing is, we're going to get a lot of truths about, why is this happening to me? We're out with the victimhood, and we're now being shown the laws of karma and reincarnation, and that we have created our own reality. It reflects the state of our consciousness. So we'll talk a bit about that. And as always, every story has twists. So we're going to get into some of the twists on this hero's journey as we're coming through, getting some of these truths and determining what we need to watch out for. So let's go on to a break here in just a moment. And when we get back, I would like to share with you 3 things to watch out for as we're being illuminated with truth, and how to navigate through this incredible time, this incredible opportunity for transformation. So talk to you in a few moments when we come back from break.
Sometimes being human has its challenges. Our physical health falters, our spirits sag, our dreams don't immediately come to fruition. Welcome to the power of Maximum Medicine Radio. Join me, Doc Martin, in conversations that will blow your mind about healing. In our hit show, Doc Martin addresses the scientific with bridging to the mystical approaches to give you a new narrative about maximum medicine. In this live call-in show, we will journey into the extraordinary genius of the human body and talk about other beliefs that impact being your multidimensional self. We seek the seen and the unseen and explore the earthbound and the otherworldly, all with the purpose of calling forth the maximum you. To learn more about Doc Martin and Maximum Medicine, visit www.sharonmartinmd.com.
Join the New Earth on the Cornelia Stephanie Show. Tune in each month as Cornelia takes listeners on an odyssey of higher consciousness to inspire, educate, and empower. Cornelia Stephanie is a spiritual teacher, passionate speaker, published author, and founder of the Empower Network. Cornelia guides people on the path of self-healing, peace, and liberation. For more information, go to corneliastephanie.com.
Are you ready to invest in your best self? Join Sabrina Wright as she shares tools for creating joy and balance in your life every single day. Sabrina is here to help you become your greatest advocate and empower you to make decisions that will help you live your best life. The Live the Good Life Show, connecting your physical and spiritual self, every second Thursday at 11 a.m. Pacific on TransformationTalkRadio.com. Find Sabrina at the right, WRIGHT, balance.com.
Are you ready to get big and live your life out loud? Tune in to Get Big Out Loud Radio, exploring life through the lens of curiosity and compassion, with me, Carrie Knudsen, joining Dr. Pat live every second Monday at 10 a.m. Pacific on TransformationTalkRadio.com. I will offer ideas to transform what you are thinking into conscious action. If you want to get big and live your life out loud, visit me at KnudsenSpeaks.com.
Are you ready to find out who you really are? Are you ready to have fun and listen to the soul part of yourself? Indulge in a deeper meaning with Laura Goldstein, host of Coffee with the Universe. This show will awaken that true self hidden deep within you and will get you energized on who you were created to be. So go ahead, grab your cup of joe and experience Coffee with the Universe with Laura Goldstein on TransformationTalkRadio.com.
Hey, Burn Brighters, and we're back. So let's talk now about 3 things to watch out for as we're going through the spiritual awakening and we're being shown some truths, maybe perhaps some very uncomfortable truths. And, you know, I like rules of 3 and I like to go backwards. So number 3, and first of all, this new moon in Pisces is overall very, very positive energy, but there's always 2 sides to the coin. And every event has a light side and a shadow side. So we certainly want to delve into just a little bit so we can be aware of what to look out for. So 3 things to watch out for as we're being illuminated and seeing our truths, especially in the next couple of weeks and as we move forward in 2021. So number 3, watch out for this. And this is a spiritual rule of thumb you've heard me talk about, and this is across the board. Ask any spiritualist or anyone who's ever studied comparative religions. Everyone agrees, and everyone knows and understands that we're the ones that create our reality. So we are made of energy. Everything is made of energy. Every thought that we have is energetic, carries a vibration, and creates. Every word that we use has a vibration and a frequency, and it creates. And every emotion that we have has an energy and a frequency, and it creates. So number 3 that we want to watch out for is really, this is a golden opportunity to take the time to go into contemplation or meditation, spend some quiet time journaling with yourself and truly reflecting on what are you thinking about? What are you speaking about? And what emotions are you putting behind those thoughts, words, and deeds? Because everything that comes from that frequency, that vibration, that light and sound, and that frequency creates our own individual reality. So number 3, don't get caught in a negative feedback loop. We'll talk about that. Number 2, keep your eyes open. Keep your eyes open. And I encourage you to work with your spiritual guides for your own wording. But one practice that I've been doing for decades now is to ask to be shown truth for whatever truth is. And then I can accept it and move around it. So it's a spiritual law that over time, with an open heart, and when we really mean it, when we ask to be shown truth, it cannot be kept from us. But we have to do our part of the work. So keep your eyes open, stay on your toes, and watch for things that don't make sense to you. Watch for people, situations, information, news that don't resonate with your own inner truth. So keep an eye out to make sure that you are not inadvertently ignoring any red flags because it's something painful that you're to avoid a conflict, okay? Specifically in the areas of your spirituality, in the areas of love or romance, and in the areas of your finances, especially over the next couple of weeks and throughout 2021. Really stay on your toes and just use your discernment and always reflect back to your own inner knowing. Go to that quiet place and really use your discernment of what's true for you and what isn't. And number 1, this is really an amazing opportunity to find a spiritual path that works for you, whatever that is at your time in your unfoldment. This is the great spiritual awakening. We also know it as an ascension. Our consciousness is raising. We're given the opportunity to clear off what we no longer need and to be able to absorb and carry more light and sound. And with that, everything that isn't light and sound is going to be brought up where we can see it so that we can handle it, move it, transmute our karma, and get it out of our lives so that we can move on. Now, I'm going to take quite a bit of time covering the next topic. We're going to go into the 6 signs of a spiritual predator. And I think this is really important to cover. So what I'm going to do is ask that we go ahead and take a break now and give us a little more time to cover the next segment. So stay on your toes, keep your eyes open, avoid ignoring red flags in your love, relationships, and finances, and really keep on your toes on your toes for watching for a spiritual predator. So I'm going to go over that in depth here in just a few moments. We'll be right back.
Tune in to The Truth is Funny with Colette Steffen each Wednesday at 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern on TransformationTalkRadio.com. This hit show will have you thinking outside the box and riding the wave of infinite potential. Join Colette on the Higher Self Network, inspiring listeners to shine their brilliance and ensure success while roaring with laughter as they recognize the humor of the giant cosmic joke. Visit thetruthisfunny.com.
Welcome to Soul Activation Podcast, a world-class broadcast of insight and inspiration with the renowned healer and coach, Suzanne Alexandria. In this series, she dives deep into the magical sea of you, to the place in you that's ready to activate. Tune in live every second and fourth Monday at 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern on TransformationTalkRadio.com.
Stuck in a roundabout of dysfunction? Stop circling around difficult issues and find out what's been holding you back. Learn how to speak your truth to power with host Dr. Kathy Obear. Create real change with smart tools and smart strategies. No frills, no fluff, just life-changing conversations to help get you where you want to be. Extend your reach and become an agent for real change with Kathy Obear. For more information on Kathy and her work, please visit drkathyobear.com. That's drkathyobear.com.
Tune in to the show Heart Change Consciousness with me, Dr. Trish DeRocher, as stories of inspired activism come to life. Listening to conversations with your favorite authors, change makers, and many more who practice inspired spiritual activism and transform vulnerabilities into sources of strength. Let's be inspired together through my show, Heart Change Consciousness, on TransformationTalkRadio.com.
Are you ready to let go of the I can'ts that are holding you down? Valerie Trujillo invites you to join her community on a mission to collectively heal as a tribe, where your vulnerability is heard and reciprocated. So tune in to Love and Light with the Crystal Blue Oracle every second and fourth Tuesday at 4 p.m. Pacific on TransformationTalkRadio.com. For more information about Valerie and her work, visit crystalblueoracle.com.
Hi, I'm Patricia McNair, host of Divine Guidance with Patricia, and I'm here to help you live a more authentic, spiritually connected life. Join me every first and third Wednesday at 9 a.m. Pacific on TransformationTalkRadio.com. Being who you are in everyday life is the key to unlocking soul wisdom within that our whole self already knows. Get ready to embrace your spiritual, mental, and emotional well-being, your whole being. Discover your gifts and strengthen your connection to spirit. We will explore earth guidance, divine truth and love, past life lessons, and so much more. So listen in to Divine Guidance with Patricia and join in your personal adventure to triggering, opening, validating, and being all that you are. For more information about me, visit divineguidance.earth.
Hey, Burn Brighters, welcome back. And we're going to spend a bit of time in this segment now talking about 6 signs of a spiritual predator, because I'm really getting that this is an important topic to slow down and spend some time with. And here's kind of what's been shown to me in my own personal practice, my professional practice, and in my client sessions that are coming up. This is a time on the heels of the events of 2020 and leading into these early events of 2021. And as the year of The Truth Shall Set You Free unfolds, many of us, if not all of us, and you can tell me if this applies to you, we've had major changes in our lives. And as we develop these truths and we discover these truths, it's really an opportunity for us to let go of what no longer serves us, what is a lower vibration than where our level of consciousness is now today, now that we're on the other side of some of this. And what can happen when we've had a big truth and we're making big changes in our life, when things are starting to fall away? For example, everybody knows, it's no secret, that in my unexpected divorce, that I, through a very difficult, challenging turn of events, was forced to give up my home, my furnishings, everything in it, as well as make a major financial payment in order to settle, to end the divorce and to be able to go on my own. So, confessions of a holistic nurse. I've been through losing everything you once held dear. Okay. I've been through the radical downsizing where you've got $1,500 left to your name and significant life, living expenses and business expenses still coming in. So I've been there. And one of the things I can tell you is that on the other side of it, life is so much better. And once we get those lower vibrational things and old habits out of our lives that we don't need anymore, it makes room for the higher and better to come in. So if you're experiencing or have experienced or experiencing this in your life now, where you've had lots of loss, or where you've had to face the truth, where something that you believed in was not what you thought it was, it's okay. You haven't done anything wrong, and keep going. And actually, congratulations are in order, because this is actually part of the dark night of soul that then leads you into much brighter days full of joy and at a much higher vibratory rate. Now, having said that, once we're in a difficult phase in our life, we can be very vulnerable, especially when we've had heavy losses of any types: relationships, finances, careers, family members, loved ones, romantic partners, you name it. Okay. We can be sometimes left feeling like we have a void in our life, and we can be very vulnerable. And here's what I've learned personally. This actually happened to me of course, this happens when I was most vulnerable going through my divorce. There are people out there, I didn't understand this, but I had to live it and learn it. Okay. There are people out there that will take advantage of a person who is in a very vulnerable position, looking for help, looking for the love and support, and looking for spiritual food, if you will, to help get them going and carry them on to the next step of their life. So this is a very real thing. And I just feel it's really important today. We're going to spend some time on this, and we're going to talk about what happens we're going to talk about the 6 signs of a spiritual predator, because they're out there right now. Okay. And if this has happened to you, give yourself a big break. It's happened to many of us, myself included. Okay. So let's ask yourself this question. Have you ever met someone who claimed to be a spiritual teacher or a mentor, but then turned out to actually drain your energy and turned out to really kind of start leading you down that road to burnout? Okay. And maybe they didn't outwardly state that they're a spiritual teacher, but they did or said or behaved in some way that made you think that. Okay. If this has ever happened to you, you are not alone. All right. So these particular types of individuals may fall into the category of narcissism and psychopaths. And here's a part of some of the traits to keep an eye out for. Okay. They might be very charismatic. They might be very magnetic. They might have magnetic personalities, and they may have a way of love bombing you. In other words, they're able to project a feeling of infatuation that your energy field reacts with, and it feels like love, but it's not. So here's a love bomb. If you are feeling, if you're with this person and your energy field is reacting, your heart is pounding, you're weak in the knees, you're feeling this infatuation type of, oh my goodness, I'm really in love with this person. This person really loves me and they're my mate and they're the perfect other half. That is a classic sign of a love bomb. Okay. It's happened to me, folks. It's real. Okay. And you can really, really believe this is real until as you spend time with them, something else happens. And what these folks are actually doing is following a formula. And I'm going to do an entire podcast on this and go into the details of it. But the long and short of it right now is to know that there are people out there that will run an agenda on you and will try to get close to you and get you into their funnel, if you will, for something that you have. It could be your energy, it can be your life force, it can be your finances, your time, or they may want you to do something for them, do their work for them. Okay. So they may give you the impression that they are spiritually advanced in some way. And you may think that they have some spiritual ability that you do not. And what they may also do is in some way, shape, or form, make you feel or believe that they have something that can heal you. And one of the classic signs is that they may, number one, do things to make you think or feel that you're special, which you are, but that's aside from this. But they will make you feel special in order to get in with you. That's the difference. And then they'll start running this formula to build rapport, get you in, and then they will eventually do something that will shock you, throw you off balance to where they are in control. They will start controlling your communication, how much you see them, the way that your visits go, and whatever it is that you think they might be promising you, they're always holding out, or they're giving you just enough to keep you, because, the carrot on the string, just to keep you attached to them. So really keep an eye out for some of this, okay? And why now? Because as a part of this grand spiritual awakening and this great ascension that's going on, spirituality is a hot topic. Just search through the internet. Everyone's talking about this. So we really want to just make sure that we ourselves are protected, that we're protecting ourselves, and that we have energetic protection and the protection of our spiritual guides to help guide us along through this path of unfoldment and spiritual awakening. So we don't find ourselves in a relationship with someone or an organization that is actually draining our energy and burning us out and not helping us burn bright. Okay. All right. So as always, with any information that I ever pass on to you, please use your own discernment, because one thing I know to be true is that each of us is perfectly capable of determining what is good for us and what is not good for us, what is fact and what is fiction. So use this information, take it into your own contemplation, meditation, get to that quiet, still point, talk this over with your spiritual guides, and determine if any of this resonates with you. And then ask to be shown what's true in your life right now, especially if you have someone trying to get your attention for spiritual unfoldment or spiritual upliftment. Okay, so let's talk about what are the 6 signs to look out for. And I'm going to tick them off and try to make this simple for you, okay? Number 1, they appear too good to be true. They may be physically very attractive. And again, they may be charismatic and they may be magnetic and they may be love bombing you. So they may appear to be everything you ever wished. And that is a classic sign, because as Dr. Sam Vaknin, the world leading expert on psychopaths and narcissists, this is number 1 rule. If anything is too good to be true, it is. It's not true. Okay. That's rule number 1. Number 2, they are never, ever wrong. They think they hold the truth. the whole truth and nothing but the truth. And if they make a mistake, they don't acknowledge it. They don't apologize for it. They don't make it correct. They're always they will find a way to put something back on you. It's also called gaslighting. This is a classic narcissist psychopath trick. If you question them, they will put it back on you and make you think it's you. It's just like what happened in Enron. Remember the accountants who came up and questioned the books of the Enron? They questioned the books, and that person was made to look bad, discredited, and fired. Okay. They're never, ever wrong because they're running an agenda. Okay. That's number 2. Number 3, these individuals think that the world owes them everything. They think that they should be cared for, provided for. They should have other people giving them money, other people providing for them, other people doing their work for them, including their spiritual work. So, Confessions of a Holistic Nurse, I got a closet full of t-shirts on this one, okay? I had a lot of relationships until I learned this, where people wanted me to do their spiritual work for them. So if this is happening to you, you are not alone, okay? It's classic. Number 4, they will go out of their way to let you know that they see something special in you, which is true. Each of us is very special. We are unique. We are a spark of God, and we exist because God loves us. This is true. But this truth, this spiritual truth that we are divine beings of unlimited power, is a truth. And any spiritual guide, true spiritual guide, true spiritual teacher will provide this information to you in a way that is uplifting and empowering, never to manipulate. So what some of these folks will do is they may bring you down front, put the spotlight on, give you a title, I don't know, princess, queen, deacon, I don't know, make up some title that will make you believe that you are special and make others believe you are special too. Watch out for this. It's an astral trap. And what they're actually doing is playing with the ego and playing with the mind to kind of get their hooks at you. Keep an eye out for that, okay? So yes, you are special. We are divine beings with unlimited power. But this information should never be used to manipulate us or to make us do or join a group or an organization or go out with a person or have a certain group of friends. Any way, shape, or form. If something feels off about this, it is. Listen to your inner knowing. Okay. Number 5, they will in some way, shape, or form lead you to believe or want to lead you to believe that they are the only one who can help you. That they know something that you don't, that you have some spiritual power that they don't, or they have some resource available to them that you don't. It's again, a nasty narcissist psychopathic trick, and it's an astral trap to get their meat hooks into you, so where you can't go above the lower first level of heaven. It can get you trapped on the astral plane, on the inner planes as well. So keep an eye out for that. All right. Number 6, they live and breathe the old motto, do as I say and not as I do. In other words, they don't walk their talk. These are people who may almost be preachy, or they may quote some type of a doctrine or a scripture and pass it off as truth, but they're not actually living it. Typical of some of the beliefs where people believe in atonement, meaning that I can behave any way I want to 6 days out of the week, and I'm 1 day a week if I go in and I confess my sins and have atonement, then all is forgiven and I go on and I can just continue to behave the same way. Meanwhile, they're asking you or anyone in their group or their friends or their company, if you will, to follow this certain set of rules that they don't hold themselves to. Classic signs, okay? So keep an eye out for 1 through 6 and any others that you experience. I want to hear about it. Please share this information on social media. And let's share some of this so everybody can be empowered with information and really increase our awareness of those who might be trying to pull one over on us or drain our energy. This is about burning bright, okay? We don't need anybody draining our spiritual energy either. Okay, so I'm going to add a few things before we take a break and go to the next segment. I'm going to add a couple of other things, couple thoughts here. Number one, before we move on to the next segment, I want to add this piece that spiritual predators can also be sexual predators. And I've alluded to a little bit of this last year. This happened to me. And I'll go into a separate podcast with the whole story and how I survived it. And this doesn't necessarily have to look like all the stories that we've heard about some of the Orthodox churches where the members in authority, the clergy perhaps, were sexual predatory for children. It's not just that, okay? What I've experienced is that I had a love interest, a romantic partner that was a sexual predator, but he was also a spiritual predator. That's how he got in with me, okay? Pretending to be spiritually on my level. And what he was doing was really trying to use my spirituality to get me to do his work for him. Okay. So sexual predators can also be spiritual predators and vice versa. Keep an eye out for that as well. In man or woman, your age, any age, keep an eye out for it, right? If it appears to be too good to be true, or they're pulling on your emotions or your sexuality, big red flag, okay? Take some time out, get some help. Okay, now let's talk about helping yourself and protecting yourself, and then we're going to go on break. How to protect yourself. Number one, spiritual predators and spiritual sexual predators are a particularly nasty breed of narcissists and psychopaths, all right? You may need assistance. If it's something that you can't extract yourself and end and get away from this person on your own, seek help. Seek help from the appropriate professionals, local law enforcement, psychotherapy, or a holistic healer, or some type of a practitioner that you deem that is appropriate for you, that is skilled with helping you extract yourself from individuals like this. Because there may also be energetic ties that need to be cut and removed. And there may also be unwanted entities, consciousness that have attached that you'll need to have removed by an energy healer practitioner. Okay, so be aware, get help. The other thing is, be your own hero. The days of us waiting for, which has kind of been hardwired into our DNA in some ways, waiting for a savior to arrive to save us, that is gone with the Piscean age, okay? That's part of the truth that's coming out now. You are your own hero. You are the wizard behind the curtain. And you are the spiritual divine being that's running behind your whole life. And you have an entire team of spiritual guides to help you determine that and to support and facilitate your journey home to God and to the ocean of love and mercy. But the first step is always be your own hero. Always trust your own inner guidance and your own inner workings, and ask for help when you need it. Your spiritual guides are all around you, but they cannot break the spiritual law of interference. You must ask for their help, okay? So we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about the energetic anatomy that's tied to spirituality and what you can do to make sure you're clean and clear, so you're attaching to your divine, your divinity, your connection with God in a way that is uplifting, safe, happy, healing, and spiritually evolving for you. See you in a few minutes.
Did you know that when we talk about the Earth's ecosystems, the most important ecosystem has been left out? We created the ecosystem approach to recapture human potential.
Find us at theecosystemapproach.org.
Join us every Monday at 1 p.m. Pacific Time and 4 p.m. Eastern Time for the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason and Patricia on TransformationTalkRadio.com.
It's time to get your life back on Burn Bright Today with Jennifer Marcinelli. Tune in each month on TransformationTalkRadio.com. Learn to move from the darkness of burning out to the light of burning bright. Jennifer is redefining stress and the energetic causes of burnout, shining a light on process to get your life back. For more information about Jennifer and her work, visit burnbrighttoday.com.
Learn how to lead a happier life on Miles to Go with Brittany Miles. How to lose to gain it all. Join Brittany every second and fourth Wednesday at 1 p.m. Pacific on TransformationTalkRadio.com. Listen as coach and healer Brittany Miles shares stories that teach you about surrender. For more information about Brittany, milestogocoaching.com.
Tired of not losing the weight? You need a healthy solution for weight loss that protects your muscle mass as the fat burns away naturally. Holistic Medical Center has the healthy option for your weight loss concerns. Lose 1 to 3 pounds per day in 21 days, naturally, under our physician supervision. Call Holistic Medical Center 425-451-0404 or on the web drdarvish.com, drdarvish.com.
Tune into 3 Things I've Learned with Susan Dolce every first and third Tuesday of the month at noon Pacific, 3 o'clock Eastern on Transformation Talk Radio. Join Susan and her guests as they share the stories that shift our souls about radical transformations, courageous breakthroughs, and life lessons. 3 Things I've Learned with Susan Dolce. For more information, go to transformationtalkradio.com or visit Susan's website at susandolce.com.
Creating and living the Aquarian Way, soul design for self-enlightenment and self-healing. Tune in to Transformation Talk Radio the second and the fourth Fridays at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time with me, Vivienne Chauvette. As we transcend the third dimensional plane of reality, we move into higher realms of existence. Let us reclaim our sovereignty as divine essence of light and unite our voices to successfully manifest ascension on Earth. For information on our services, Copper Art Store, and to connect with me, visit infinitehealingfromthestars.com. That is infinitehealingfromthestars.com. Tune in to Transformation Talk Radio with me, Vivienne Chauvette.
Hey, Burn Brighters, welcome back. I'm so glad everyone's been tuned in today. So in this last segment, in the remaining few minutes, what we're going to talk about is the energetic anatomy that's associated with our spirituality. And truthfully, all of our energetic anatomy is related to our spirituality. But there's something specific that I really would like to talk with you about. And if you have the book handy, if you have the book handy and you look at page 47, you can take a peek at this illustration, open out your book, and we're going to be talking about the crown chakra, okay? The crown chakra is the 7th of the main chakras. We have infinite number, 12 primary, but 7 main. The crown chakra above the head, okay? It should turn one direction or another, and it should be funnel-shaped and go all the way up to the highest levels of heaven. The crown chakra is one of the main ways, our main connection with our divinity, with Sugama, God, source, whatever term that you use, okay? This is a part of why it's so important to mind your energetic anatomy, all of the chakras, to make sure that your chakras are open, clean, clear, and functioning properly so that you can have this, that we can enjoy this connection with the divine, so that soul, the highest part of ourselves, can clearly connect with the divine, and where we can hear the answers to our prayers, if you will. We ask a question of the divine and our spiritual guides, and we can actually hear or perceive or sense our truth, our answer, our guidance for our next steps. Now, the crown chakra really needs to be kept open, clean, and cleared. And I'll share with you here in the last few minutes, one of the things that I do to keep that is I sing the hue. And I share this all the time on the radio show. The hue is for everyone. It is the sound of all sounds. It is a sacred name for God. It is for every person, regardless of religious belief, spiritual path, background, ethnicity, culture. It's for every soul. And I'll demonstrate it for you briefly. And of course, as always, we'll include the links in the details to the Hear Hue app, which is free, and to hearhue.org. One of the things that you can do to keep your crown chakra clean and clear and open is to spend 20 minutes a day in quiet contemplation, focusing on love and singing the hue. With eyes open or closed, take a nice, slow, deep breath. And on the outgoing breath, just sing the word hue with love. And I'll demonstrate it 3 times for you. Hue. 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 May the blessings be. Thy will be done. This is, in my experience, the most effective way to help keep my crown chakra open and cleaned and cleared, and keep my heart open to love and connected to the divine so that I can hear my answers to my questions and take my next steps. And when the crown chakra is repaired and functioning properly, this works pretty much flawlessly. However, I have personally experienced, and I see this professionally in my energy healing practice very frequently, that probably actually every client I've ever treated, to tell you the truth, has some type of an anomaly or a repair needed in the crown chakra, meaning that you need some type of energy modality, whether it is Reiki or some of the others, but even particularly gemstone and diamond therapy are particularly adept at correcting some of the injuries or damages to the crown chakra. And here's an example of what might happen. I had, as a matter of fact, more than one client just last week with this exact same symptom, where the crown chakra wasn't turning, wasn't open, and wasn't funnel shaped. It was pinched like this. Like a bottleneck. It was pinched. So the crown chakra started, and then it had a huge pinch in it. And I have seen this, as a matter of fact, it might even be a phenomenon but I've seen this so much. But when there's a pinch in the crown chakra, what has come up, I believe, I would even venture to say many, if not even every, but many client sessions that come into session and this presents itself, this anomaly, chakra anomaly presents itself, is when someone, a well-intentioned individual most likely, has been praying for this person. So unintended prayer or unwelcome prayer, or this person with sometimes the best of intentions is praying for a specific outcome for someone else. Okay. For example, I have a client named Amy. That's not her real name, but she represents many clients who are in my practice right now actively that are really having at the stage of their lives where they're having to make some very significant decisions. And Amy just can't seem to she couldn't get a direction. She couldn't make a decision. And she couldn't feel what was the right way to go. Should I move? Should I change this relationship? Should I marry this person? Should I, move out of my parents' home? Whatever it is. Okay. Major decisions she was trying to make, but she couldn't make a decision. And it became very, very clear that the crown chakra was not turning and was pinched. And with diamond and gemstone repair, to get the crown chakra fully functioning and correctly and appropriately shaped and repaired, that reconnects us with the divine so that we can and you can get your own truth, your own inner guidance, and you can connect with source and your spiritual guides and get your prayers answered and know what to do next. So keep an eye out for this. So if you're in a period, if you're going through or you're up against to where you're trying to make a decision and you can't, you're not sure what to do. You're getting conflicting stories. That is classic crown chakra damage. Okay. So first of all, give yourself a big break. Okay. Cut yourself some slack. You're not stupid. You haven't failed. You're not dumb. It's just a part of your anatomy has been injured and it needs some repair. That's all this is. Okay. So give yourself a break. And if you can't get it operating fully and functionally on your own, then I would very highly encourage you to reach out to an energy practitioner or a holistic healer that you feel comfortable with, who has the skills and abilities to repair, replace, or upgrade the crown chakra as you need it. Okay. That will really help you connect with the divine. And then you'll be able to, my clients report that over the years even, that as we've had their crown chakra repaired, that they've gone on to be able to make decisions and gone on to the next step of their life. So, okay, everyone, thank you so much for being here today. Enjoy the full moon, the new moon in Pisces, and enjoy operating with a fully functional crown chakra. And burn bright, my friends. See you soon.
Thanks for listening to the Burn Bright Today podcast on Transformation Talk Radio with Jennifer Marcinelli. A holistic healing revolution and a life you love is within your grasp. Catch all of the previous episodes and find out more about Burn Bright Today at burnbrighttoday.com. Views expressed on this program are those of the host, guests, and callers, and do not necessarily reflect the views of the station, its management, or advertisers. You're listening to Transformation Talk Radio.